Hi guys, I'm Karen. So you guys know that our founding fathers of America, they established the criminal justice system for a purpose. We have legal aspects of it. We have the laws. Laws are passed down, but we also need someone to help enforce them in our society. And they are the police officers. Okay, they are needed for our safety in our society. They help bring order and peace to us people. They protect us when there's criminal activity going on. Um, Police officers are also a symbol of in our system, in our criminal justice system. Let's say down the street, a guy wants to commit a crime. However, he sees a cops on the corner. Chances are that he won't commit a crime because the officer is right there. So their parents, they don't need to necessarily do anything, but their parents are there, and they'll stop the criminal activity. Um, for example, today, you heard about Mexico. It's chaos over there. We have officers there as well, but there are lack of officers that help protect the people in Mexico and help. Yeah. Oh Lord.
You on YouTube.
I know that. Oh yeah. Let's continue.
Time.
Oh, okay.
The negative one can ask questions for 60 seconds to the affirmative one. You stay up there, please. 60 seconds.
All right. Now you say that the police are a good deterrence to crimes and all that, but what I want to know is how do you think that police could do a fair job deterring crimes when most police systems have a monthly quota that they have to meet, which puts more pressure on them just to get by with just giving away tickets that aren't fair?
Well, first of all, officers, they go to training. They're just not, apply for the job, they get in. They go to a certain amount of trainings. The quotas are there for a purpose. We also need some type of quota that helps us know how our society is doing. What quotas? How would you know the daily? How many people, let's say, jump over the subway rails, just to get in? There are different. I know there are different aspects of how police should do, but
What would you say to the other part?
Time. First negative has 90 seconds to make a statement. Please.
Shh. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Mustafa, and I will be talking to you about why the police isn't really necessary to maintain peace and order. Well, the first thing, I have no problem against any police or any police activity, but I do have a problem with giving average human beings more than average powers, because most of the people who are police, they don't necessarily abuse their power, but they some of them have their own biases, whether or not they're gonna be biased at a certain race because of how they were brought up, or the community that they're from, or I also want to make an example of what's going on in Egypt today. Today in Egypt, there's a revolution against the government in which the police is no longer policing the citizens, and what is going on now is that the citizens are policing themselves. They have set up their own checkpoints. They have set up their own neighborhood watch to guard from the thugs, because no matter what, there's always going to be a certain percentage of thugs that are going to take advantage of the system, and those people, they really don't care if there's a police guy in the corner. They're going to commit the crime anyway because of the whatever caused them to be a criminal. But that's a different topic. But what I'm trying to say is that the deterrence level isn't really as big of a factor as she was saying, and I'm a firm believer that people naturally are very calm and peaceful unless you cross the line.
10 seconds.
Now, unless that line is crossed, I think that people will be able to police themselves and maintain a peaceful and orderly civilization without any unnecessary power.
Thank you. We now have the stay up there, negative, and we have a question from the second affirmative debater, from Michael.
Given that you said that you're not comfortable with giving humans more than human powers, what about politicians and like the president, for example? They have more responsibility and more power than the average citizen. So given that humans are flawed and they are biased because of their experiences, what solution do you see?
The difference
For police.
between the presidents and those officials is that they're elected by us, the people. We don't elect police officers. If that was the case, then maybe we would always elect the officer that was best fit to fill those jobs. But the reality is most police officers aren't fit to carry guns and have a lot of biases and unfair issues against certain people depending on how they were raised and where they're from.
Do I ask another question?
You have 10 seconds.
What do you know?
Given that you said the Egyptian people police themselves, right? But isn't that a police force just not one sanctioned by the government?
But they don't have a power over anybody. There's no master-slave dialectic over there. It's just all the
It's either
people.
you don't do it or I'm going to shoot you. Right?
Thank you. We now have the negative debater. Mustafa will have 60. We'll have, no, so we have the second. Okay, now we have the affirmative closing statement. Sorry.
Hello, my name is Michael, and I'm advocating why police are necessary. They maintain order and justice in our society, and they're the main deterrent against breaking laws. And besides stopping people from committing crimes, they just give us a sense of public safety. The military does the same thing, but on a national level. I mean, we're afraid right now, even though we have a military, we're afraid of terrorist attacks. So imagine we didn't have a military, we'd be even more afraid. So police do the same thing, just on a local level. And laws are like the spine of society, and frankly, they're the only thing that keep us civilized. And the police force are like the muscles on the spine; they hold it up. But without it, it would just collapse. So basically, without police around, it would just be
10
chaos,
seconds.
and everybody would just do whatever they want and go after whatever they want.
Thank you. We have the second. We have the closing from the negative.
My closing statement, basically, I just want to remind everybody that the average police officer rarely ever has to use his gun. What the average police officer spends most of his time doing is pulling you over for speeding, giving you tickets for smoking marijuana, hassling you because your music's too loud, or none of those things which are for your own safety. Is more of a nuisance. I think that the safety is going to be there regardless of whether or not we have police, and it would be fair for everybody if we just take the power out of a certain group of people and give it to all of us to police ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you.